On Belgium university campuses, Jewish students live in hiding. They no longer feel safe. Here at ULB, the Université Libre de Bruxelles, anti-Semitic incidents have been increasing since October 7th.
Actually, it's horrible. We feel really alone, isolated. We feel like we're shouting into the void. Right now it's a disaster what's happening on campus.
Attacks on Jewish students and verbal aggression are a common phenomenon. In pro-Palestinian demonstrations, taking Israeli civilians hostage is legitimized.
C'est juste une conséquence en fait de l'escalade de la barbarie qui est menée par l'État israélien depuis des décennies. Quand il n'y a pas d'autre possibilité de résistance pacifique, la résistance est obligée de passer à d'autres moyens d'action.
The October 7th massacre isolated Jewish students. No organization condemned the acts of Hamas, and what's worse, the UEJB, the Belgian Jewish Students' Union, has been ostracized from student structures.
Hamas Propaganda is unprecedented. A terrorist organization that publishes crimes on TikTok and yet receives support from all over Europe. We've also noticed it with organizations we used to work with. Suddenly, nothing. There's no more talk of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, no more talk of the UEJB, and there you have it, the abandonment, the isolation of Jewish students, and it started from there.
Confronted with this hostility, Jewish students no longer fit in. They're forced to hide their identity.
It doesn't necessarily show on your face that you're Jewish. If you don't wear a kippah, if you don't wear a Magen David, nobody's going to know that you're Jewish, and so you're not going to be directly attacked on campus like someone else, like other people, other religions that have much more distinctive signs. So the acts we do record are those occurring when we identify ourselves as Jews on campus.
But on the rare occasions when Jews do show up, they're targeted.
There was a pro-Palestinian demonstration that was allowed on campus. As students, we used to pre-sale for non-political events at lunchtime with the UEJB. It was our annual ball, which we do every year. We were simply attacked by students who were part of the event, who came to tell us that we were Zionists, that we were Zionist terrorists, that wherever we Jews are, we cause problems.
Someone on our committee was called a Jewish spy. When they talk about the UEJB, because we put up posters for the release of hostages on campus, they say that they're going to organize purges. They're going to make patrols during the night to encircle us. And so it's perceived as a very complicated situation because it's a whole audience talking about someone who's in the group and who's now afraid to say she's Jewish.
For the UEJB, the response from the Université Libre de Bruxelles is too weak. Contacted by I24 News, the university's press office gave no response. To students, the administration says it lacks concrete cases of anti-Semitism for taking action.
We really felt we had no reaction from ULB. We had a meeting, but nothing concrete. What we're asking for is something concrete. They were waiting for concrete action too, to the point of asking ourselves, and we asked ourselves, are we waiting for a Jew to be stabbed on campus before we get any concrete action?
Confronted with these difficulties, however, Jewish students are not giving up. They continue to defend their values. Every day, they put up posters of the faces of Israelis taken hostage by Hamas.
Of course we ask ourselves questions about our future. I think that's natural. But if we're in the UEJB today, we're in charge of this organization. It's also because we hope and want to build a future for Jews in Belgium. We don't want to say to ourselves today, there's no future. We're leaving. No, we're not leaving. We'll stay here. We'll fight here. For Israel, for the Jewish community here, for Jewish life in Belgium, and in Europe more generally. But today, it's not easy.
But anti-Semitism goes beyond campuses. For the presidents of the UEJB, the wave of attacks facing the Belgian Jewish community must be a cause for concern at all levels, because it is the future of Jews in Belgium that is at stake.
And Europe more generally has a huge responsibility to ensure that Jews are safe in Belgium and Europe. So this means measures taken by the academic authorities, but at all levels, or by political leaders who today are taking a stand to preserve the Jewish community. Are we now asking politicians to campaign for Israel? No, that's not what we're asking. All we're asking for today is to preserve Jewish life in Belgium, to make sure it has a future, and I think that's the least we can ask for.
Since October 7th, the number of anti-Semitic acts committed each month in Belgium has increased tenfold, according to the UNIA, a Belgium anti-discrimination organization. This rise will mobilize the country on December 10th for a citizens' march against anti-Semitism.